different doesn't mean bad. Different means different. Oh, this is even a nice weighty. Look at, feel this. Hey everybody.
Hello.
My name's JP and this is Colin. We are the Agave Geeks and we're here to taste another one of our high-end tequilas. Today we have the Casa Dragones Añejo, which is a barrel blend. And we'll explain a little bit of what that is, but we're excited to get into it. With these high-end tequilas, we do not blend them into cocktails because we want to taste them in the truest form. So you're not going to see that today, but what we do hope you get out of this video is some information about Casa Dragones, especially the barrel blend, how it's produced, and our thoughts on it. So thanks for watching, and here we go. So, Colin, why don't you go ahead and start us off with what you know?
I'm very excited about this one. Casa Dragones is one of my favorite tequilas. I have not tried this Añejo yet, but they do a Blanco, and then they do a Cristalino or a Joven, which is an aged tequila that then the color is stripped out of. So I've had a couple of their expressions, and this is something fairly new that I am very excited for us to try.
Yep.
It's an Añejo. It is a 2-barrel blend, so they age them separately in French and American oak, I think for just about a year. And then the female master distiller blends them.
The maestra.
Her name is Berta. And I don't know, there's just something about this tequila where I feel like, I mean, from what I've had, it feels like it's had a woman's touch. There's something elevated about it. There's something elegant about it. There's just something different about each expression that I've had, for sure.
So we are opening up the bottle of the Casa Dragones, and something that I think is really cool about Casa Dragones is that they make an honest effort to be different, right? You don't see this style of bottle really anywhere. You don't even see this color of bottle anywhere. It's kind of like not a gunmetal, but like a kind of like a shadow gray. But then you have the Añejo in it, which changes the color, and you just don't see this color of bottle in places. I'm
excited to see the color of it because it doesn't give you much.
No, it doesn't.
Leeway into what it looks like.
It's it's really modern.
It's going to be a surprise.
Modern bottle for sure.
You want to do the honors?
Yeah. So as Colin touched on earlier, this is a barrel blend. So we've got new French. Oh, this is even a nice weighty. Look at, feel this. Look how weighty that is.
It's classy.
Like this definitely some time went into this top. I'm appreciating this top too much. So there's the bottle.
Okay.
A little extra for me.
So I did some research. The Dragones were basically the Queen's Guard, kind of her top tier of guard that helped lead the Mexican Revolution.
Interesting.
The home base is in San Miguel, which is a place I've gotten to go to, and it is one of the most beautiful cities in Mexico.
So the Casa Dragones is Queen's Guard, so mother of dragons, basically,
Dragon House
is what this is. It's also the female distiller. This is Khaleesi. This is the Khaleesi of the tequila world.
But yeah, there is a dragon house in San Miguel that was, I guess, a horse stable back in the day, is where the revolutionaries would keep their horses.
Right.
And yeah, so they have roots in San Miguel, which is, I mean, a culinary wonderland in Mexico. And I think Casa Dragones has done a really good job establishing themselves in the culinary world. They're your chef's favorite tequila, and one you see chefs hawking a lot. We did an oyster mignonette for a tequila dinner once using the Blanco, which was one of the more incredible tequila dinners I've done.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing research about Casa Dragones. They had a lot of information, and it's really helpful for, especially in what we do, is that in more than one way they try to be innovative, from the bottle, from the style, and now the style in which they produce their tequila is a diffusion method. The diffusion method is one that, instead of cooking tequila in, say, a clay oven and then milling it or smashing it to get the juice out, in this way, they use high pressure and either steam or water or acid to be able to extract the juice out of it, or the inulin out of it. Now, that specific method is very polarizing. You know, it's a modern method to use. It's a very efficient method to use. But you have a lot of other tequila connoisseurs in the tequila world who don't like that method. It's frowned upon. It is one that they felt that it's lost tradition. And I personally, you know, as much as I love tradition, I also do love innovation. So I'm excited to see how this tastes, seeing what my thoughts are on it.
I kind of compare it to taking a fillet and frying it. You know, like it's you've got this amazing piece of meat. You took 8 to 12 years growing it, and then the cooking method is not ideal.
Right, like why, what, it's like, but in one camp would be like, why would you do that? Another camp is like, well, why wouldn't I do that? You know, you fry food, you might not fry the same food that I would fry, but this is how I do it, and this is, but I think it makes more sense that they are doing a barrel blend, because the consensus is that when you have a diffusion method of tequila, that it removes some of the complexity from the tequila. Now when you have a barrel blend using French oak barrels and American oak barrels, and you combine them, you're re-adding some of that complexity by adding those flavors together. So, you know, I think it's a smart way to go about this, because if you want to be innovative and still be taken in with loving arms by the tequila world, then you're gonna have to find a way to make the best of the both worlds kind of mixed together. So,
but I like the fact that she ages them separately, lets them come to maturity
Yep.
in their own barrel, and then blends them on based on what she thinks.
Right.
Like she doesn't want one overpowering the other, and
right.
I don't know. I just like the fact that they're not aged together or blended together. They're aged separately, and then she's got the ratio. So.
If I recall correctly, the actual barrels are produced with the wood of sustainable forests from 5 different forests in France.
Wow.
And 2 different forests in the United States. So you've got 7 different forests creating barrels in order to make this happen. And it's all new oak barrels, so
that's cool.
They're not whiskey barrels. So
let's
give it a shot. Definitely a lighter smell than the last tequila that we tasted.
Almost like a stone fruit or something in there, but not overly oaked by any means. I think it's actually kind of a vague. It smells great.
I get flowers. You know, flowers? I don't think it's because it is a Maestra, but I do feel a more of a feminine presence in the smell, right?
And knowing the Blanco as well as I do, I taste, or I smell at least, I smell the Blanco in there. Like I smell that progression.
Something specific I smell. Cherries and tobacco.
Almost like a maraschino cherry for sure.
Maraschino cherries for sure.
I'm going in. You know, it's not overly sweet. It's got a little punch to it, but man, is it.
I like that a lot.
A lot going on there.
This one is probably one of the most crisp tequilas I've had in a while. The maraschino flavor that I smelled is still in the flavor. So I taste maraschino flavor into black pepper. It lingers, but not too much. It's not too much in your face.
The oak doesn't overpower it by any means. You still get the agave.
You can tell it's new oak.
Yeah.
You can tell it's not been influenced too much by, you know, whiskey. Cotton candy. Wow. This is like the cotton candy of tequilas.
But without being sweet. Like you say that and I understand it,
right.
But it's not like a sweet, scary tequila.
It's cotton candy in and of itself. Like I can't eat the whole thing because it's too sugary. But I kind of want that one bite out of cotton candy, and I've kind of gotten my fill, right? I feel like that has that feeling to it, you know, where it's just a hint of it.
Did we talk about the Sangrita recipe?
Oh, the Sangrita recipe. We also have the recipe on our website at theagavegeeks.com. So if you're interested in tasting Sangrita, which is a great way to complement our tequilas, this is clearly the way to do it, and Colin made an excellent batch today.
Thank you. I'm super impressed.
I get exactly what people were saying about it in that it does not taste traditional. It doesn't.
I would agree with that.
It's not.
It's not an oak bomb.
But it's not a bad thing.
No.
You know, and I think that's what we hope to get across, is that different doesn't mean bad. Different means different.
I love that you have no idea what color it is until you pour it too. It's like kind of a cool reveal.
Check that out. This is a dark gray,
almost like a smoky bottle.
Yeah, smoke, like almost like a gunmetal bottle. But then when you add the tequila, it becomes like brown, and then you see the true color. Yeah. Do not judge a book by its cover, because the moment you taste it, it's going to be different than anything that you had thought. I've never tasted a tequila that tastes like this.
I agree.
Yeah, so this bottle is also another $150 on average bottle. You can get it the range is $129 to $179, but I was able to find it for about $150 in most places.
I think it would make a great gift. I'm a very big fan. I'm very impressed, and I think it's worth the value. I mean, that's a steep price point for a tequila, but it's pretty special. Contrary to the Corralejo 1821 that we just tasted as well, I think this one is more versatile. Like you can plug this in, but I would probably do this in the beginning of a meal as opposed to this would be really fun to pair with food, actually.
This would be nice to get started with. Like if it's like, hey, we're having a dinner party, let's all sit down, let's sip on a tequila first. this is one that you can do
ceviche
for sure.
Or
Oh, absolutely,
like some
sort of like sashimi.
Yep, oh, this would be really fun.
It's a nice starter to the rest of the meal, and then as you progress into a heavier tequila, because it doesn't taste too syrupy, too heavy.
Has a little umami to it to begin with too. Like there's just something really complex about it.
It's like a peppery cotton candy is my biggest takeaways. But beyond that, I like aesthetics are big with me, right? So the fact that this bottle is different, even the top is different, I think this is a great gift to give somebody, as it's indicative of modern. You know, I think it's the most modern tequila in both the taste and the presentation that I've had recently. For sure.
Matches your glasses too.
It does. It does. About the same color. Yeah. And it changes colors too. Just my glasses change colors as well. So,
big fan. I mean, I'm very impressed, and I'm really stoked we got a chance to try this one.
So that's our take on Casa Dragones Añejo Barrel Blend. Thanks for joining us. Again, this is Colin. I'm JP with Agave Geeks. We're looking for any excuse to drink agave juice. So, you know, on another note, we want to do a little bit of something different. So Colin and I both come from the restaurant world, and we know that right now specifically the restaurant world is struggling. So if you have a business in which you're either doing food delivery or trying to promote your business in some way, especially if you're a chef, we want to be able to pair our high-end tequilas with some of your food. So if you want the opportunity to showcase your skills, feel free to reach out to us. You can meet us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, our website at www.theagavegeeks.com. Thank you so much.
Cheers again.
Cheers. Salud.
I think the only thing I can compare it to is the Blanco, which is obviously the next progression of
I went down the wrong tube.
So notice the 16.
There is a 16 right there.
At the bottom.
And the bottom.
And I guess General Ignacio Allende, head of the Queen's Army and leader of the Dragones, worked closely with Father Hidalgo to spark Mexico's independence movement. On September 16th, 1810, Father Hidalgo delivered his Cry of Independence speech known as El Grito. 16 is also the address at La Casa Dragones.
Oh, has it not been recorded until then?